This is One on One with Jasper Cole, Hollywood's bad guy, and so much more. Actor, talent manager, producer, and more. Now he's sitting down with today's top newsmakers from entertainment, politics, pop culture, and beyond. This is One on One with Jasper Cole.
Woohoo! All right. Howdy, and welcome to One on One with Jasper Cole. This would be, I'm being told I'm not on camera. This would be your host, Mr. Jasper Cole. We are live here at Sunset Gower Studios right here in Hollywood, California. Let me give a shout out to my producer, Mr. John Williams. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
You have your mic today.
I do.
Last week you were crawling on the floor, down on your knees.
I was.
And you were looking for a mic. Okay, comedy is hard. But boom, boom.
I
yes.
have that somewhere, that sound effect somewhere.
Okay, find it. No, I'm kidding. So listen, everyone, please follow us on Twitter. We need your... Dominic tells me, my other producer, quit begging, but I am begging. We need your Twitter followers. One-on-one J. Cole. Facebook, One-on-One with Jasper Cole. Or you can go to my website, jaspercole.com. It's a lot of narcissism about Jasper Cole. Then there's this big-ass banner here, and my name's in the show. It's okay. I'm old. I earned it. Go to my website, and you can find a leak for a leak. I'm not even drinking. We're going to get over to mimosas in a second. You can find a link to the show, and you can also find our 24 advertisers and sponsors. Mm-hmm. Thank God we have them, right?
Right.
We're getting paid.
We are.
Go to ubnradio.com to my host page. When you see any of the advertisers, any products you want, click on that. Our little show code is embedded, and we all get credit for it, and we keep our jobs, basically. So please go buy something, okay? Listen, everyone, we are thrilled. We usually do this opening, and our guest comes in later, but because we're so lucky to have the beautiful, the talented Gretchen Bonaduce. Yeah. Hi, sweetheart.
Wow, that was such a nice intro.
Well,
thank you so much.
I'm so glad you were here early, first of all, because in this business, people are late all the time.
Never late. Never
late.
That's so rude.
I'm like chronically early, which is kind of annoying too.
Well, I will not be friends with people that are late. If I make plans with you and you're late, you're off my list.
My friend once said to me, it's the one wasting someone's time is the one thing they can never get back. And I never thought about that. It's like, that's a good point.
You know what? I feel that way when I watch a lot of TV shows, that I can never get that hour back ever.
A lot of them. Yeah.
Yes.
So, my dear, welcome. First of all, I feel like you are a icon to many people, and you're so young. We're actually the same age, sort of, almost. We're in the same... We've been chatting it up before because we have a lot in common. I'm from Georgia, as you know, and Gretchen, who was from Illinois, but when she was a sophomore in high school, imagine that, her family moved to Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was quite...
That's quite an adjustment.
Yes. Culture shock. I mean, literally, we walked into a restaurant when we got there, and there were these old men sitting at the bar, all discussing the Civil War. I'm like, oh my God, where did I move to?
And just being the new girl anywhere in school, that's tough.
And the weird girl, because...
Were you kind of avant-garde back then?
Totally. If you look at my yearbook, everyone's like, I've never seen such a punk rocker like you before.
So really, you've been the same person. I mean, you've always been sort of the rocker chick.
Yeah, kind of.
Rocker chick.
Yes,
in a
much to my parents' disappointment.
Yes. Were they very conservative?
Southern Baptist, yes.
Oh my God, here too.
Yeah.
How did we survive that?
I don't know. I mean, we were in church every time the doors were open.
Testify. Bible school?
Bible school, Bible
vacation,
camp, yep.
Church camp?
And the lock-ins. Did you do those?
That sounds scary.
Wait. Yeah.
No. You're right.
Yeah,
it was like sleepover. They were like at the church.
Yes, but we would always drink first.
Of course we would, because we were the wildest. First of all, ministers' children, they were the whores, the girls. I love them, and the guys were just the worst. I mean, because you think about it, they're so suppressed, I guess, right?
I mean, you see it over and over. Like if you just watch ID, half those people are preachers.
Oh
kids.
My God, I love the ID channel.
And look at the Dugars.
Oh fuck! They are so fucked up.
I know, and
but
it's
we
so
know
sad.
we grew up around that.
Yeah. Well, definitely holier than thou people who had a lot going on in their private life that they didn't want.
And I was one of those kids, I always question shit like that. Like my parents would tell me to shut up. I remember one time in church, you can get this as a Baptist, the minister was doing his sermon and he just made a reference about, and those Methodists. And then everyone started kind of murmuring like, ugh.
Yeah.
And I raised my hand and I was like, excuse me, Reverend, but doesn't everyone love God? And why are you making fun of the Methodists? And they were like, my mom just like ushered me out of the church.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of noticed the hypocrisy early on.
I didn't notice it for a long, long time. But, that's kind of why I definitely consider myself a Christian and
Me too.
religious, but I'm not about
Spiritual.
organized
No.
religion at all. I mean, I cannot embrace a people that don't think everybody should have the same rights.
Exactly.
So, and even here, I went to church. There was a great church called Ecclesia on Hollywood Boulevard.
I've heard of that.
Had like a rock band. It was so much fun. But I just can't be around a group of people who don't think everyone should have the same rights.
Right.
So.
And that's the problem with a lot of organized religion. It's so separatist. It's like
just so dumb.
us and them. And
and here's the thing that's so absurd to me. I totally believe in God.
Right.
But I think it's kind of crazy that we kill people over a being none of us actually can prove exists.
Right.
Isn't that nuts?
Hello.
Yeah. I mean,
Think about it, folks.
I know. It's just...
Yeah.
with ISIS and on and on and on. It's just so sad.
Well, I think
to me.
I don't know about for you, but it once you grow up in any kind of religion, it does give you like a foundation.
I'm so glad I grew up that way.
Me
it
too.
Gave me such a conscience in trying to, be nice to people
Right.
and always do the right thing. And in a way, I kind of feel like sometimes it sort of victimizes you a bit because, you don't think that way.
Right.
Which was a lot of the problem in my marriage. A lot of the things
Were you
that
married?
I was married. Yes, I was for quite a long
for
time.
Let's just say Gretchen was married to Danny Bonaduce, 18-year marriage, and I was saying to her,
Long time.
my dear, in Hollywood, that's like 50 years
It's
or
like
whatever.
100 years.
And you guys became quite a celebrity couple.
We did.
And we talked briefly in the beginning because I'm addicted to reality TV as a viewer. Like, I'm one of the few guys that I admit I watch every fucking housewife show. I know them all. I'm not embarrassed to say it. But I mean, I like the competition shows. But back in the 90s, I loved Surreal Life. I watched your show, the Bonaduces. I watched
the Osbournes.
Yeah,
that
the
really
Osbournes.
launched. Well, that really helped Danny and I get a show because that was such a
that was
smash
like
that everybody was looking for the next Osbournes.
Right.
And then, we ended up, I think our show was 2005, 2006, I
Okay.
believe.
Yeah.
And, we were lucky that was such a
Like
hit.
a springboard after the Osbournes.
That they wanted to find somebody else.
Had
like
you were you a fan of the Osbournes? I mean, because reality TV, it's become now what it is, but it was different even back then.
Well, I think we were the first ones that kind of, even the New York Times or the Washington Post, one of the two, wrote an article about our show saying reality TV has gone too far. So we were kind of the
Pushing
first
it.
ones, that it was actual reality. I mean, we didn't set things up. They just followed.
Turn the cameras on. Because
Initially, we shot the pilot, and the pilot was Rock and Roll Dinner Party, and that's the pilot we shot, where rock stars came over and it was a potluck, and that's what we shot.
Right.
And then they
Did
said,
that air?
No, they said, you know what? We don't really like this idea, but we like you too.
Right.
So we're gonna just do this
Focus it
reality
on
show,
you.
right? And then everything just went crazy. That was not the show that we sold that ended up being on.
Did you have any say in the editing? Were you producing?
Nothing.
So you would literally not know until you watched it
We were
what was
executive
going to happen?
producers.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were?
Yeah, but we had no say on how they cut it whatsoever. I didn't even see it till it aired. And
Were you
well,
horrified?
actually, I might have seen it because I knew we were going to be doing interviews.
Oh, and then you'd have to promote it.
Well, I didn't know what made the cut, and I wasn't going to talk about things that were so bad if they
Right.
weren't in there, So
When the show started, was the relationship in a good place?
No.
I mean,
no.
because I don't know if a lot of people may not know, it's out. You've told it. It's out there that
Yeah.
you guys had one date. You met
Yep.
for one date
In Phoenix.
and got married the next day, or
Yeah.
that night.
Well, the legend is 7 hours, but it was actually several hours.
Hours
yeah,
later.
It was, but it was, probably within 48, 72 hours is probably more of the truth. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of one of those Britney Spears jokes where when we've talked about it, neither of us remembers who brought it up. And it was just like, hey, you want to get married? I'm not doing anything. Are you? I'm like, no, I'm not. Okay, let's do it.
How did that go with the parents?
Not well. Not with the Southern Baptist parents. Yeah.
Were they in Tennessee, or I mean, is that where they stayed?
They were in Phoenix. We got married in Phoenix.
Oh, that's because I was
Yeah.
wondering how you ended up back. So you were out in Phoenix,
Right.
Okay, and you were working for an entertainment company.
Yeah.
And he was on the radio.
He was on the radio.
And you booked a psychic.
Yeah, it was
Well-
the guy, my boss at the time, was doing a psychic fair. So it was my job to get psychics on radio shows.
Gotcha.
And so I booked a psychic on his show. And that's how we ended up meeting. And I mean, it was so funny because I would be sitting there in Phoenix, just miserable with
Hot.
this terrible job, just going, what am I doing here? God, I don't really understand why I'm here. So I can't explain it. I don't even try.
Well,
like I
it was
could
meant to
never
be,
make
or-
it. Yes, because it's not a sane thing to do. And I would never tell anyone
Did you
to
know
do it.
who Danny was?
He
I know
was
you've talked about this so many times,
Oh,
but
no,
for
I
our
don't-
for our young viewers
I don't
and
mind
listeners,
talking about
but
it.
you knew
Yeah,
him
yeah.
from his acting career and everything.
Well,
or-
they actually made him go by Danny Partridge, which I'm on the radio, on his radio show. So I'm convinced that was a lot of the reason he had a drinking problem.
I don't blame
He
him.
was really not
He
happy
couldn't get
about
away
that.
from it.
No. And so I knew who he was, but I lived in Germany when that show was on, so I didn't realize
so
the
you didn't
impact
get the
of that.
impact of it.
No, I maybe saw.
Had
you
he
know,
already
one episode.
been sort of infamous at that point? You know, in terms
Yeah.
of his celebrity, like he had some run-ins already, or by the time you met him.
Yeah, well, right before we got married, he had a radio show in Philadelphia, and they had sent him down to do Say
know
No to
what you're gonna say
Drugs
this,
in
yeah.
Florida.
Right.
They were doing the Say No to Drugs like concert or something, and he was arrested trying to buy crack while he was doing the
I
Say No
remember
to Drugs
that.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So there
So-
was that little incident.
So there was that. And then his radio station sent him to rehab.
Okay.
And so then he ended up losing that job. And then he ended up luckily getting a job in Phoenix, which is where I met him.
Because he was,
So-
you know, it's amazing. He's so good at what he does that
Yeah,
he
he's a
always
great-
got work.
He's so great
But there was
at
a lot of
radio. Yeah.
Well, I guess with addiction in general, there's sabotaging that goes on, you know, and being a child actor or whatever.
Right.
There's the self-esteem problems and all that stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But so I always felt that you were the more interesting one in the couple because I felt like you were, when I watched the show, you were, and I didn't know you were from the South at the time, but see, now that I know you're from the South and you were this Southern Baptist girl, that's where that real grounded part of you that would come through on the shows.
Right.
And even in the interviews with him, you know.
Well, I think that's why the show worked
Yeah.
as well as it did, because he was so crazy and I was so normal
Right.
that people could identify with me
Right.
and sympathize with me. And it was kind of split between men and women. Like women totally sided with me and men totally sided with him, unless they were like a lucid, mature male, then they
Right.
sided with me.
Right.
But-
But would you constantly get the thing, how are you guys together? Why are you with him?
Oh,
But, but there's the opposites attract all the time.
they
That's,
do. And
I mean, were you always sort of attracted to the
bad
bad boy?
always. Yeah.
Okay.
If I will find the baddest person in the room, and that's my date, pretty much.
But that's a lot of girls do that.
Yeah.
A lot of
Well, I think also people that are raised in a real religious
kind of
upbringing,
strict. Yeah.
it's sort of your way to rebel.
Right.
Because I never really did drugs. You know, I smoked pot a few times
Right.
when I was
Well,
13.
yeah.
But, you know, I wasn't.
You weren't really the wild girl.
No.
In terms of that.
No, I wasn't.
But you liked to change your look and everything back then.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had the, safety
You
pins
are a
in my
natural
ears.
redhead. Now you
I'm
finally
just
found
natural.
your real color.
Yes, I did.
Which, thank God.
Thank God. And you know what? I was so
It's
happy.
never too late.
That Ronald McDonald, who I ran into this weekend.
just talked about
yes,
that.
We had we had the
Uh-huh.
same hair color. So
Yes. Well, now, so music's always been a love of
always,
yours, right?
yes.
And we talked about you back in the day. You would go down to Atlanta to the 688 Club.
all the time. I saw Modern English there, Guadalcanal
Mm-hmm.
Diary. But yeah, we would leave Chattanooga. There was one club there that I just remember so fondly in Chattanooga called Yesterdays. And each week they would bring in a new cover band. So I would befriend all these bands because it's what I wanted to
You're
do.
kind of a groupie, but in a
you know
safe,
what? I
good
have
way.
to kind of say I kind of
Not
was.
in a dangerous
no,
way.
and not
you
in a
know.
slutty way.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't,
I mean,
well,
no.
too bad. Really.
I know. What was
When
I
you
thinking?
look back, it's like, well, wow, why weren't you just a whore, really?
Yeah, but I was sneaking in there when I was 16, 17.
Right,
so,
fake IDs?
Fake IDs,
In
yeah.
it from Atlanta? Did
No,
you
I
go to-
had. Well, they didn't have drivers or pictures on the license in Tennessee back in the 80s or early 80s anyway. So I
Well,
could
they
just
didn't
use
have
anybody's.
electricity either.
Yeah,
I'm
we didn't.
kidding,
We didn't have
I'm kidding.
indoor
Who is
plumbing.
I'm from
with
Georgia. Like I'm going to
outhouses.
put down Tennessee, and I'm from North Georgia. So what am I talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, but so music's always been your thing. We have to talk
Loved
about the Fatal 80s.
That's my
which is your band.
band,
And
yes.
JW, you've got the website up for
Yes.
the Fatal 80s.
Mhm.
Can you give it out?
Oh, sure.
Fatal. It's the www.thefatal thefatal80s.com.
Is that still up?
Well, actually, no.
no.
She is using a different website at this point.
Oh.
It looks like it's thefatal80s.wordpress.com.
WordPress.com.
Okay. Is that one still up?
That's the one I'm
good.
looking at. Yeah,
Good. Okay,
thefatal80s.wordpress.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm so not technical.
Whatever.
I'm not sure.
But Gretchen's on Twitter
Yeah.
Yes.
at.
Ankh Singer.
Okay, no,
Mhm.
explain Oxinger, because there's a story with that,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I love history. And
Right.
I don't really watch a lot of the reality shows because I just
You lived
can't.
it.
Yeah,
You've
I
been
can't.
there.
I like the upper echelon ones. Like I love the PBS ones when they did
Oh,
1940s
you're really highbrow.
House and Frontier Families.
I can't even pretend that I should just
Those.
pretend that I'm with you on that. But
I loved those. I
Yeah.
watched every episode of those because that was cool. Did
Ri-
you did you see any of those?
no.
Well, they did Frontier Families where they
No,
took,
oh,
did
that
you
one.
see
I
that
no,
one?
I remember it and I know about it.
Yeah, I loved it. But
Okay.
then they did 1940s House and Manor House and
And those are kind of
Colonial.
docu-series too, almost
Yeah.
like documentaries, which are good.
it was great because they took these people, put them back in time. They could only use what they could have had at the time. So it was really interesting. Like during the 1940s, they put a family in Britain during the Blitz, and every
remember
time
that.
the alarm went
Yes.
off, they had to go into their shelter. It was very good. Yeah.
Did you ever get approached to do that? What was that? Get me out of here. I'm a
No, but I
celebrity, which was like a
wish.
Survivor.
Yeah.
I think Melissa Rivers won or something, but
She's nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
I love
she's a
her.
nice
But I
girl,
always,
yeah.
I couldn't do the Survivor shit. I could do it during the day, but I would
Yeah.
need the hotel at night.
Yeah, I'm not. I would do it though. I would do it. I don't get asked to do those things. It's
Not
it's-
anymore. Would you? Are you open to reality again?
I am. I'm actually up for a couple of reality shows, and
You would be great
I just started
on those.
acting. So I just filmed a pilot for a show, which was great because I have not been on stage in 30 years since high school.
A comedy or drama?
It's comedy.
Sitcom-ish or single camera?
Well, I play Chris Knight's wife.
I
which
love
is
that.
funny because Adrian Curry is a very good friend of mine.
Right.
So I had to ask her first. I
They
was
were
like, you know
another
what?
reality couple.
Yeah, and I love her. She is so. I mean, we're both from Chicago originally.
Okay.
She's from
And she was
Joliet,
She was America's Top Model.
the first
first
winner.
one.
Yeah,
First
the first
winner.
one.
And Christopher Knight was on the Brady Bunch for all you young
Right.
people.
So we have like a lot of similarities.
This is just
and
80s
it's so weird.
icon. Yeah. Or
And
VH1. That's a lot of VH1.
There
Were you
was.
VH1?
We were.
Yeah.
Yep, VH1, and they were VH1, and the Hogans were
Oh, the
VH1.
Hogans.
And the Osbournes, I think, were MTV, though.
Was
I
it
believe.
51 Minds? Was that the
Yeah.
production?
51 Minds did theirs. We had Three Ball Productions. did
Three
ours.
Ball's really good. They're
Yeah.
doing really good stuff now. I didn't realize they
Yes.
went back that far.
Yeah, they did our show, and I think they did The Biggest Loser. They have a
Yeah,
lot
in
of
fact,
shows. Yeah.
because I'm a manager, my client Denise and I, we just took a meeting there recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
You took
down
a
in
meeting.
down in Redondo Beach.
Fancy.
Yeah, I like them down there. There's a whole young group down there now.
You know, I haven't been down there in so long because after we produced and did Breaking Bonaduce, then we did I Know My Kid's the Next Child Star. So I produced on that. But
You've done a lot of producing.
Yeah,
That
but-
is really, you have a great love for that, right?
I would so much rather do that. I mean,
Behind
I
the
like
scenes?
being on camera because of the money.
Right.
I don't care about the fame.
Especially like
I don't
today,
care.
how much you're getting today.
I know, because today I am making.
We have
I
to
brought
say,
my own mimosas.
Gretchen is, and I don't drink anymore, but I told her I have no judgment. I love people who drink. So,
Then you love me.
yeah, we had one other guest, Charlotte Kemp, brought a
Mm-hmm.
bottle of champagne, but she was too embarrassed to put it on the counter, put it on the table.
I have no
I said,
shame.
honey, put it out here if you're
You know
going
what?
to drink it.
After Breaking Bonaduce,
I was
all
going to
bets are
say,
off.
at this point,
You know
just
what?
take your clothes off.
There's not.
Oh.
Okay, now that I'm not going to do.
Were you ever approached by Playboy?
I actually did have an offer.
I
if
would
you can
think
believe
so.
That.
See, my mind just jumps all around, but that's what I was thinking.
I did have an offer, and I kept thinking to myself, okay, 3 years of my mortgage, my dad's face, 3 years of my mortgage.
but your dad's been through.
I couldn't. I'm like,
that would
I
be the
cannot
final.
tell
That
my
would be the
dad.
nail in the coffin.
Yeah, probably. I don't think he would have liked it. But now I question it. I'm like, damn it. Now, because now I'm too old.
Well, now they're not doing. Now they announced Playboy's not doing nude pictures anymore.
I know, but now maybe I do it because now I wouldn't
Now
have
it's
to be
just
nude.
like semi-nude.
I know, but I don't think they're clamoring for 50-year-olds to be.
Well, you look
yeah.
amazing. Are you
Thank
kidding? Everything's okay. So let me. I've got so much stuff here. So when
Okay.
you did "Give Me My Own," what was it called? I want my own.
Give me my reality show. Yes.
Right. Now, I did watch that.
Okay.
And I know it came down to you and Tracy Bingham.
It did.
What happened to her, by the way?
Well,
Is she around?
you know what? She was so rude. I'm sorry.
Bless her
But, you know,
heart.
you and I just had this discussion.
Oh, well, I'll dish
I
it
don't
out there. I
want
don't
to
care.
shit talk anyone that I don't know.
Right.
But if I've had a bad experience with you, I'm going to
Fuck
say.
you.
Yeah. So, Kris Jenner, bitch. And,
Thank you. But Tracy, you know, she was Baywatch, and she was African American. She was like one of the first.
She was.
I think she was a price. You know, first of all, it's really sad that I know this shit. But this is what's in. This
I'm
is the
disappointed in you that you know this.
This is the stuff that's in my head. But I think she was a Price is Right model originally, and then she became a Baywatch babe.
And she's so beautiful. You know,
She
she's a
is.
really beautiful girl.
But she was mean.
She was not nice. What the show concept was, a bunch of D-listers, including myself. It was me, Kato Kalin, Tracy Bingham, Susan Olsen, who I love and adore. By the way,
Who has a radio show at LA Talk Radio.
and she's a lover, great girl.
Yeah.
AJ Benza, who I also love.
AJ.
I love AJ. And Ryan Starr, who had won
American Idol.
Yeah, I don't think she won.
She was like
but
in the
yeah,
top 10.
Super sweet girl. And so what it was is we were vying to win our own show.
Right.
So the first 4 episodes were us trying to shoot our own show, and then America voted, and then whoever won got the last 4 episodes. So I, not in a million years, thought I could ever win the show. So I was making a gigantic ass out of myself on TV. Like, just, I didn't care because I'm like, I can't win anyway. I won.
I know.
I could not believe it. They did the last episode where they were showing who's going to win, like the election. It was during the election where Obama was up. I guess was it McCain he was running against that
the
time?
First time.
Yeah, whatever, the first time. So they brought
Sarah
us
Palin
out.
and McCain and
Yeah, that's right. And so they brought us out, and they had a map behind us, and they would light up the map. And I knew that you only needed 1 vote in a state to get the, map to light up. And they go, you're the only person to get a vote in every state. And they lit up there. I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. I can't believe, I'm thinking one person.
You're thinking, bless your heart, she got one
vote in each state. So then they were showing, and then you took like 54%, but I still.
It was like winning the primaries for the elections.
Was.
That's how they did it.
Yeah.
And Tracy, dumb bitch, she thought she had it.
Oh my God, did she ever?
She was sitting there. I mean, she thought she had it, and she was
did.
so rude. I mean,
so rude. Yeah, and Kato too, because it was down to me, Kato, and Tracy. And so again, I'm backstage, and I said to these guys, are you going to be upset if you don't win? And Kato's like, I will kill myself. I have put my whole life into this. And then Tracy's like, oh, well, yeah, I'd be upset because I probably going to win. And I'm just like,
You're
that's
like,
so funny. I'm like, I didn't think I was going to win anyway. So
like, I'm lucky to be here.
That is totally the way I felt. Like, I felt so lucky that there must have been some gas leak in the building when they were casting. They're like, let's put her on. So,
or they hated the other one too so badly that they were like, fuck
they had
them.
to be shocked. They could not have in a million years.
Oh, I remember
when
when they showed Tracy. I don't remember Kato, but I remember Tracy.
Oh, Kato stormed off.
Okay, maybe that's right.
He stormed
but
off
Tracy's face was like, it's like a beauty pageant when they announced the winner.
Well, if you should have seen the shock on my face,
you can probably YouTube
should
it
have
somewhere.
seen the shock on her face.
I remember.
Yeah, and then I guess for a week after, she kept. I think she was threatening all kinds of things, and I'm like, you're right. I had the least amount of votes.
Wasn't she questioning the counting?
She was
questioning.
Well, she
that
had
it was
tried
rigged.
to hook up a Playboy site to the voting site, and I guess they disqualified it or something. But
this is like a reality show.
I know
within a reality show.
But had that happened, she would have won because she's naked in Playboy and she had 1,000,000,000,000,000,000 trillion votes. So. But they wouldn't allow it for whatever reason. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
exactly,
that would have. They didn't allow that.
Yeah.
And then you're right. She questioned it.
Yeah, and the funny thing was I didn't know people could vote online. So I would have really won.
Pushed it.
Yeah, because I was having people text, and somehow I won.
Oh my God.
So
and then you
funny.
did the next 4.
And then I did,
the last 4 or whatever.
Which was, I just shot my life, being a single mother and singing in a band, and I was dating people at the time. And
I remember that.
And it was a really, really fun show. And then Fox Reality switched to Nat Geo Wild. So
right, Fox Reality. I forgot all about. That's right. There was a whole channel dedicated just to reality.
Right. And so then I've really just been doing this and that, little
Well,
parts
you
here
had
and there, but
you had your radio show. You went
I
into
did,
radio.
Yes, and I
It's-
loved it.
don't
It was
you love
so
it?
much fun. We just had the silliest, stupidest show.
You had bands on and musicians.
Well, I wanted to help bands that were not signed because if
get
you're
attention.
if you're
Yeah.
not signed, you're not going to get on a radio
Right.
show.
You're just gonna be in.
No,
Yeah.
so it was all unsigned bands, and they would come and play live. And then we did like an adoption segment where we were trying to help get animals. So we,
Right.
would
You're a big animal person
love
too, right?
animals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
friends with Jillian Barbary?
I know her. I wouldn't
Okay,
say
I
we're
was
friends,
thinking
but
I maybe met you at an
I
animal.
know I've met
an
you.
animal, something with animals,
Yeah.
some sort of animal charity.
Yeah, I love her. She's so sweet. But yeah, I don't. I mean, we don't hang out or
Right,
anything.
but I know
yeah.
animals are a big part of your life as well.
Yeah, I love animals.
So we were talking earlier about the reality today and the way it is now. Do you think? Well, first of all, do you remember when people thought reality was just it was a flash in the pan?
Totally.
It was not going to last.
We were, because when we were trying to pitch shows, we were like, we missed it. There's no way. And this was like 10
it's
years
fading
ago.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just didn't go away.
But I was having this. I did an interview this weekend. I was being interviewed, and we talked about this. I think people are going to kill me, but I think, like, especially the housewife shows or whatever. I think those are really good improv actors. People go to the Groundlings and they pay money and they take all these
Right.
classes to learn how to improv.
Right.
But really, what reality TV is improv. You have to be able to. Because a lot of people can't be themselves, but you have to. The way it is today, they
You
sort
have
of
to have
set
no
up situations.
fear. Yes.
They set up a situation and say go,
Right.
and the really good ones like a Nene or a Bethany or Vicky or some of the ones that excel at it, they're good at improving. They have to be able to just in the moment
Yeah.
stir some shit up or
Well, I think
whatever.
on my show, my show.
it was.
Well, on our
With the
show,
other person, but you
one
had
of
your own. So
I think one of the reasons our show was so volatile was because being married to Danny was not easy. I mean,
Was
he
Jekyll
was
and Hyde.
just very difficult.
right.
And I felt like with the camera crew there, I felt safe to say whatever I really wanted to say.
'Cause you
Where
had
in
people
real
there.
life, I might not have said those things.
Right.
And so it's not even actually being good at improv. It's being good at being
Being
able
able-
to be fearless and say what you think and know the consequences could be bad and still do it anyway.
Right.
Because that's
Well-
yeah, I said what I wanted and I didn't care.
But then would he be angry later?
Oh my God,
Oh.
flipping out, insane. But on camera,
Oh, yeah.
they actually made him look way better than they should have. They were like, if we make this like he is, no one will
Nobody
watch.
will believe it.
Yeah. So that was a lot of the reason I think our show now, looking back
in
and
retrospect.
analyzing it. But I think it was really the only time in our marriage that I felt like I could say whatever I really thought.
Right.
When I wouldn't a
felt
lot
safe.
of times. Yeah. Like I knew if I was going to get into a fight with him, if I said this, I
Right.
just wouldn't say it.
Right.
And with all those people there, I was just like, no, F you, asshole.
How often? I mean, how many months did you film? Was it daily?
No.
Or, no.
We did 2 seasons.
Okay.
And originally the first season was supposed to be shorter episodes, but then it became so crazy
Popular.
that they extended our episodes. So I think we shot from January to, I want to say May.
And would they
think.
just be in the house?
No, we shot 4 days on, 3 days off.
Okay.
So I would just plan whatever I was going to do on the days that we're shooting.
Got it.
Like I had the band, the Mud Flaps at the
Mm-hmm.
time. So, and if I was going to do something with my girlfriends or my kids, I would just do it when we were filming because I needed stuff to film. you know.
Right.
I didn't have a radio show like Danny
Right,
did.
right,
and,
right.
I think, the other half was already over. He had done that
Oh,
show.
right, right.
Yeah.
That was like the male view
Yeah.
with
yeah.
Dick Clark.
That was 2001,
Mario Lopez.
2002. Dr. Jan Adams was the
Yes.
doctor that ended up doing the surgery on Kanye's mother.
That's right.
Yeah, that was him.
And then there was a the black guy too.
That was the black guy,
oh
Jan Adams. But then they
Then
let
there was
him
the-
go.
oh,
then
and
there
they
was
brought
another
in
black guy.
yeah. I don't know what happened to
I
him.
don't know his name.
But
I
we know
can't
Mario's
remember.
done well and
Very
yeah,
well. And Dick passed away. Yeah. Yeah, and
that was a big break for Dan. I mean,
huge.
that was a network show.
Huge. Yeah, I think it was on
NBC.
I think it was NBC.
Yeah.
When the first season was filmed here
Sunset Gower?
Yeah, and the first season of Breaking Bonaduce, we did the filming with Dr. Gary here.
Oh.
So
Okay, Dr. Gary.
Yeah.
Koshier?
Yes.
Yeah. I know him very well.
Yeah.
I'll be seeing him tomorrow.
Is that a good
No, I'll be seeing him tomorrow. He's my guy.
Well, that's
one of the
nice.
reasons I picked him to work with is because I knew he had worked in show business, and that
Yeah.
he had worked in this field. And I thought, well,
Oh, you mean he's like your personal
Yes,
guy?
he is.
Oh,
I didn't even
nice.
know he had worked on that show.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
he's
our-
fine. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fine to say because
Yeah. Okay.
But that's what. Oh, he's amazing.
Well, we originally in the pilot we had a woman who actually has her own show now, Dr. Jen Berman.
Oh,
I
yeah.
brought her in because
She's
I
on
liked
Sirius
her.
XM also.
Yeah, but no, it's a different one.
Oh.
The VH1, the blonde.
Oh, I know who. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She
We
does couples. something.
therapy, which I don't know why they wanted me on that.
I was like, you haven't been on that one? We'll go on. We'll pretend to be
All
a
right,
couple.
Let's do it. And then let's
I've just
make up a lot
exposed
of
who my
stuff.
therapist is on
Yeah.
air. I don't care.
But they felt that it would appear that Danny was beating up on her because he was so volatile that they brought in Dr. Gary instead. And you know what pissed me off?
Can we get Danny to call in, please?
And what really pissed me off was that whenever you see Gary, there's like this lighting on him like Angel, and I look like beat to shit. I'm like, I'm the girl. You should have put better lighting on me. But Gary looks all nice and
That's
good.
why I picked him. Wow. So that was here.
That was here. Yeah,
Oh, my
they
God.
built the office here because a lot of times doctors don't really want you to go to their.
No.
It's I mean with your
can't.
patients.
I think you
and-
can't or something.
Yeah, I
Nor
don't
are
know,
your
I don't know.
patients supposed to tell you who they are on air, I guess, like I just did.
Yeah,
But,
well, you must have a good relationship. He probably won't care.
No, I
Yeah.
love. But that's a reason. When I was looking at people,
Uh-huh.
I saw that he had worked in all this. He worked with America's Next Top Model. And I thought,
Yeah.
well, if he worked with Tyra, if he can
Yeah.
handle me, if he can
Yeah.
handle her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people said, I felt like Gary was picking on Danny. I'm like, no.
Oh.
Really? You think a doctor's going to support that behavior?
He was doing his job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, the best thing that came out of that marriage is your two amazing kids.
wonderful. I would not trade anything I've been through.
See, everything
to have-
happens for a reason.
I mean, I wouldn't be where I
Right?
am now.
But you
if it
never could
wasn't-
plan it.
No way. And I mean, when we got married, we had nothing. And then 6 months or 4 months into the marriage, he got arrested for picking up a transvestite in
well,
Phoenix.
you know, Gretchen,
And-
who has.
Yes. And
We
so,
all make mistakes.
But I mean, and now we were $50,000 in debt. And, embarrassing. I cannot even tell you how
That was a phone call
embarrassing.
home to Tennessee or Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And of course, my parents came rushing over because they're wonderful. And my dad put up his 2 vintage cars to get Danny out of jail.
Did they like Danny ultimately, though? I mean,
Initially, they were very supportive because they're Christian. It's like that. Remember that comic Bill Hicks? It's like, forgive me. Yeah.
You have to.
And so they originally really tried to support it, but then eventually they couldn't.
Right.
They just couldn't.
But isn't that interesting? Because that's you had roller coasters. There'd be big money and no money, and the big money and I mean,
No,
Danny
it was in the beginning no money
in the
for
beginning,
a long
but
time.
then things got better and.
Well, luckily, he knew I knew better about money, so he
Right.
let me handle it. So I took it all, invested it, which is why we ended up having what we had because
He
he
would've
never
blown
had
it.
money. No,
He
he
just-
was living paycheck to paycheck.
That's a very
Yeah.
addict kind of way
Mhm.
anyway, right?
Yeah.
All or nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, and really, for the most part, now after I know a lot of things that I didn't know at the time,
Right.
because for me, I just always wanted to believe the good.
Right.
And if I ever had suspicions and I'd go, I feel like something's not right here, he'd go, you're just crazy. You're crazy. I
You
would
were
never.
that's what they do. They turn
and
it
then
on
I'm
you.
like, oh my God, am I crazy?
Yeah. You start
And-
questioning yourself.
And it was so just abusive,
Mhm.
and I just didn't know, the things that I thought were happening. And he would say, you're crazy. And I'd go, okay, well, maybe I am. But, when you're married to a famous person, there is a lot of temptation, a lot.
Mhm.
And that was one of the things that we were going to deal with on our show. when Danny was on the other half, he started having an affair with one of the producers, which he moved like 5 blocks from our house. And I had no idea because I couldn't fathom.
He moved her?
Yes. That somebody would repay everything I had done for them by doing that to me.
But that's part of that sabotaging, like we talk about with addicts.
And plus, now I had 2 small children.
Right.
He was doing the radio show. He was doing the other half. He was gone all the
making
time
good money
anyway.
then.
Yeah, but he was gone all the time. So it didn't seem weird if he wasn't there.
Right.
Because he wasn't there. He
was
filming,
working.
5 days a week doing the radio, then 3 days a week
Promoting.
filming the TV show, then on the weekends, a lot of times I have to go. So I never saw it coming. I just, and then he's on the TV show every day just going, I love my wife. My wife's the greatest. I mean, you used to listen to the radio show.
Well,
So-
he credits, he used to always, I do believe to your credit, I don't know Danny. So like, I'm again, that viewer who's watching something. But I do believe he truly loved you, and I do believe he was honest when he gives you credit for being the smart one and for being the best thing that ever came into his life.
That was honest. That was the only honest thing
and being the
ever
best
said.
thing that I think he knows that you were the best thing he ever had.
Yeah, but it's really sad now, which is why I was bringing this up, because it wasn't like just to complain. But I thought, and this whole town thought, and the whole world that was watching him really believed that he loved me. And now he says in interviews all the time, all I did was cheat on her. That's all I did. And I'm just like, God.
Oh, he does that now?
Yes. And I just feel like, who treats their wife
First
like
of all,
that?
don't disrespect the
And
mother of your
2,
children.
He doesn't have that in him at all. But then who boasts about it? Like, who goes and, and like, do you think people go, wow, that's a guy, Danny. That's awesome.
No.
So it just makes me kind of sad,
Right.
that I just was clueless, and again, going back to sometimes it victimizes you being
Being
a
naive
Christian
from
because
a sheltered.
you want to believe so much that people are good and
Well, was there also that part of that wanted to sort of you could help him or change him?
oh my God, I am so totally
What is the
a
word?
fixer.
Codependent or
sure.
or a rescuer?
Yeah.
A rescuer?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I absolutely stand by that. I
Yeah.
am, but I felt like I said to people, so he's alive. What am I going to apologize for it? I
Right.
kept him alive. I
Right.
kept him out of trouble. I'm not going to apologize.
He was a
Whatever-
project too. It was like
I would never say I'm
In-
not codependent. I am.
in
and-
retrospect.
Yeah.
Everything's
No,
in retrospect.
Not even in retrospect when it was happening.
You
I
knew it when it was happening.
Yeah.
But I know I watched recently an Oprah Where Are They Now, and they did a thing on Danny Now up in Seattle or Portland or
Yeah, he's in Seattle.
married and
Yep.
not
Has a really nice wife.
not more kids.
I hope not.
No. And is he good with your kids now?
I'd rather not answer.
We
that.
won't get into that. Yeah. But I know that he's back on the radio again.
He is.
So
Yeah.
so you guys aren't in communication. You're not like
very little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would love if we could be friends, but it's just too difficult.
Too difficult.
You know what I think the problem is when a man's paying money to you for child support or alimony or whatever the case may be, they just hate you and there's just nothing you can do.
Right.
And I know that's what it is, and it boils down to
Well,
and again, I could be wrong. He might just hate me. I mean, who knows?
no, that's a good point. I don't have kids.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I don't have
yeah.
kids, and that's a great point. That
I do think
it's
it's
a
hard.
male testosterone.
Or a woman,
macho
if the woman's paying, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think you have a hard
time justify
being nice to somebody when you resent every dollar that you're giving them.
but
Yeah.
you're raising his kids. Or you raised a kid. You
I
still have a
am.
younger kid.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
And he probably sees them 3 weeks a year. So I have them most of the time. I'm doing all
You're the
hard
full-time
work.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to me to resent that you pay me, well, you're not doing anything. So you shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's easy for him, right?
Yeah.
So what's up now? What's coming up for you? Now I know you have written a book.
I have.
We talked about that.
Yes.
It's out there being
and
shopped
I'm very
around.
proud of it. Yes. And I wrote every word, which I
Thank
didn't even
God.
think I could do.
No ghostwriter.
No, but I thought I was going to have to do it because I couldn't really wrap my head around, can I do this?
Right.
But I just every day sat on my exercise bike.
Literally.
An hour. Yep.
Were you handwriting or are you on the computer?
Well, originally I tried to do the, talking into it, but it's turned out to be faster just to type it because there were so many mistakes that
You're like, whatever.
what did I say here?
And did you first just like free form, like I'm just going to go through everything and then try to go back and compartmentalize it? Or
I just wrote and wrote.
Right.
and then tried to put it in an order after that, which then my writing coach broke it all up, and so it's not in chronological order. 'Cause
Right.
I didn't know how to do it.
Right.
So I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to let that stop me. I'm just going to write story after story. So that's kind of what I did.
And is it sort of, is there a message there is really about sort of empowering other women to...
It's about you can get yourself out of a bad situation and go on and do great things.
Right.
I mean, I have this amazing 80s band.
The Fatal 80s.
You know, I went on to have my own TV show.
Yes. You're producing.
I have 2 shows being shopped at network level right now. I just shot a show that I'm acting where I was
Right. With Chris Knight.
Yeah, and I'm up for 2 shows, reality shows that,
Fingers
I
crossed.
might get on or not.
Right.
Who knows?
Right. But it's great because you're showing women and men, whoever, that you go through things in life, and that just prepares you for the next phase.
Yeah, and I don't regret anything.
No, that's important.
I mean, we had a lot of fun. There was a lot of bad times, but there was a lot of great times.
There has to be.
Yeah, there was a lot.
A lot of laughs, a lot of fun times.
And I wouldn't trade my kids for anything at all.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I always say that's the blessing that comes out of any relationship, right?
And my son asks me all the time, do you wish that, I had a different dad? I'm like, you wouldn't be you.
No.
And no, I'm glad that you have the dad you have. And
good.
Yeah, of course.
Well, do we have a caller?
We do. Mm-hmm.
Hi, you're on with Gretchen Bonaduce. How are you?
Hi, it's Entertainment Dish.
Oh, it's Dara. This is my co-host once a month. This is Dara Zane Scully, and she's our entertainment.
Dara.
How are you, Dara?
I'm really good. I just wanted to call. Gretchen so reminds me of my girlfriend Christina, and who's been through something very similar. And Gretchen, you're lovely, and I'm so happy that you have wonderful parents.
I do.
That have been supportive
That's
and
important.
have helped you, because that's got to be everything with being a single mom with 2 kids.
It is. I have the most amazing parents, and my children, that now that my daughter's older, she helps a lot.
I bet.
She's really good with my son, and I just feel so lucky, you know. And, I'm also lucky that Danny financially could take care. And I write him that. I'm like, I just want to say thanks
to you.
Because a lot of people.
Thanks to you. You knew how to invest the money.
I did. I did a good job.
Well,
Gretchen, how old are the kids?
It's 18 years. And, when you're a stay-at-home mom, you're not out, using your work skills in the workforce. And so that's, you're doing the best job in the world that you can do and not getting paid. So that's what real men do. And when you were saying that you think he resents you, a real man, well, first of all, would treat his family differently than obviously Danny did, addictions aside. But, that's what you're supposed to do. You build a family and you support them emotionally, financially. And it sounds like the only thing he's doing, probably because he's court ordered, is financially.
Oh yeah,
so,
He would not voluntarily. He would not be voluntarily writing a check.
Court
for
ordered
me.
is very important. Yeah.
It's the truth. No, it's the truth. I mean, probably if he could not pay her, he would try not to pay her.
Oh, he wouldn't.
And
no.
she's
He's
doing
tried.
a good job for those kids.
I have a feeling
and
he's
they're going to know the real
tried.
story, and they already do. And I'm just glad for you that you have a support system, the girlfriends, the parents, and the finances, because it's a hard job.
It really is. I give it up to moms, especially people that aren't in my position.
Right.
I am so lucky that I can pay my bills, and I have so many friends who are single mothers who have been kicked out of their homes because their husbands won't pay them.
Right.
And that is awful.
Like I said, I'm living it with a girlfriend right now, and she was married into a family, very wealthy, very well-to-do family, down here in Orange County, and they're hiding the money, and I mean, you cannot believe what they're doing. So
I can.
At least that part for you is taken care of, and that's a blessing. You can sleep at night. You have a roof over your head and food on the table.
And Dara, let's face
and you
it,
can breathe.
she's pretty, and that helps.
Well, she is pretty, of
very
course.
sweet. That's you know what, to get that at 50, that is quite the compliment. So thank you so much.
I hear you. I'm in the 50 club too, but I just wanted to say hello, and that I wished I could have met you, and I'm so glad that you came in studio.
Well,
and
we'll
maybe
have
I'll see
Gretchen
you another
back.
Time.
I would love to come back
The
anytime.
last Wednesday of every month, we do all hot topics with Dara and Ralph. We'd love to have you come join us.
I love it. So much
Why
fun.
isn't she there next week? Okay, never mind.
Well, I didn't book the show. I'd have her on every week. So
yeah, she's lovely.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you so much. I'm so glad
You're
you called in.
welcome,
Yay, we
and I'll
got
let you go. And
Thank
I
you.
love you, Jasper. and
thank
I'll
you,
talk
sweetheart.
To you
Love
later.
you too. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Oh, that was sweet.
That was very nice.
Yeah, that's true. She makes a good point. Like having that the foundation. Do you have siblings also?
I do, but one of them's in the military.
Okay.
He's been stationed in
Oh,
Germany for
thanks
about
for your
10
service.
years. Yes, I love. That's the other thing besides animals.
Military.
Anything for them.
Me too.
Anything
I'm
they
big on
ask.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so selfless.
He's career military.
Yeah. He's I don't even know how long he's been in. I think how long do you have to be in before you can retire? Because he's almost there, so he's been in that long.
30 or 20,
20
25 or
yeah,
something
like
yeah.
that.
What branch?
He's in the Army. And
Army.
he was stationed. He just was relocated to Georgia, but he's been in
Fort Benning or somewhere.
Schweinfurt. He was in Schweinfurt, and then I forgot where they put him.
Was your dad military?
No.
Okay,
no,
well,
my dad
'cause
wasn't.
when you said you were in Germany earlier, I thought maybe.
Yeah, my stepfather was in Germany. And
Okay.
he was military.
Okay.
And we were at a NATO base in somewhere near. It was called. The city was Buren, but I don't even really know where. I look it up online. I still can't figure out.
Is that how you ended up in Tennessee?
No, my dad. My dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he was. Works in the nuclear industry,
Okay.
and he was working for Commonwealth and then TVA, which is why we were in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And now he's at Palo Verde out in Phoenix.
Okay.
So
There's an actress, Park Overall, from Empty Nest in the 80s.
Oh, right.
We had her on a couple weeks ago. She now lives in Greenville, Tennessee, and she's this major environmental activist fighting all the corporations that are dumping pollution into the what was the name of the river? The Nakakochi? I don't know. Anyway, one of the big rivers in Tennessee, and Park has become this like Erin Brockovich of Tennessee. She made her money.
Chickamauga? Was it Chickamauga?
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's a real Nakahuchi. I don't know. I mean, but we had her on 2 weeks ago.
Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity. Every time I hear it.
No, she tried to tell you how to say it last time.
I knew the Chattanooga River, the Chattahoochee. The Chattahoochee was in Georgia, remember?
Yep.
But no, so Park is from Greenville. I'm not even sure where Greenville is. I don't know if it's near.
It's Nolachucky.
Nolachucky River.
Yeah.
She's taken on all the
Nolachucky,
corporations that dump into the
all those rivers and lakes.
But she after being here 25 years, she retired back to, and I think back in the same house she kind of grew up in.
How wonderful.
Yeah.
I think that sounds amazing.
Isn't that nice? And she has a real passion for it.
Yeah.
Like people can understand, like, you really left Hollywood. Like you could actually.
I can't wait to get out of here.
We were talking about that
Yeah,
earlier. Like
yeah.
that traffic in LA is killing
and
us.
the pollution.
But if you have jobs for us, we'll always
stay.
come here and
We'll
work.
stay. Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
I have a couple questions right before you
Sure.
wrap up. Gretchen,
Wrap up?
people in the chat room. Yeah, I know we have
we
2
just
minutes.
got started.
2 minutes left.
What?
Yeah, but people in the chat room are wondering how old your kids are.
My daughter will be 21.
Okay.
And my son is 14. And I'm so excited because for her 21st birthday, I just cashed in all my miles to take her boyfriend, my boyfriend, and my son first class to New York.
Oh my God!
So
how exciting!
I know.
That's so
you know
great.
what? I was waiting for a good reason to do it.
Coming up.
Yeah, her birthday is November 23rd.
So it'll be sort of wintry and fall.
So
and
beautiful.
leaves
Don't
will
you
change
love the fall?
We don't get it here.
I know,
but
I
I
miss
do.
it. I
I
miss
do.
the
And New York
changes.
I'm going in December around Christmas time. I've never been. They say New York at Christmas time is beautiful.
I lived there for 2 years. It's incredible.
It's incredible.
It's Central Park.
Yes.
We're gonna go see the Rockettes, the Christmas show,
And they
Ellis
decorate.
Island.
Is it
So
Fifth
beautiful.
Avenue they decorate? Park Avenue? All the store windows?
It's like
somewhere.
a Times Square.
Times Square.
Well, yeah, everywhere.
yeah.
Really. Yeah.
How has she been before?
She lived there when she was little.
Oh, with you? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we lived there when she was 4 and
wow.
5. Yeah, we bought a townhouse in the
Look
West
at you.
Village.
Oh my God.
When it was still the meatpacking district, and he did not want to buy, and I said, we are buying this. We are buying this.
Good for
and then it
you.
just blew up,
Good
the
for
West
you.
Village. Yeah. So,
God, you're smart.
and I bought the house from him here that now I rent out to movies and TV.
In our
so
neighborhood.
Yeah,
Look
yeah.
at you. Very smart woman.
Thank you.
Well, Gretchen, it's so great to meet you. My God, I could talk to you forever.
It was
You're
so
really a
fun.
sweetheart.
Thank you.
Everyone, the Fatal 80s is Gretchen's band. Are there upcoming gigs that we
I
should
don't have any. We were
Okay.
supposed to be going to Abu Dhabi, but I don't think that worked out.
Okay, well,
Sad.
go on to her website. Go on to the website. JW put it up for the Fatal 80s. Good luck on the reality TV stuff that's
Thank
happening,
you.
on the pilots, on everything, on the the boyfriend and the kids.
Some
and
of this shit has to go, right? You just get thrown
well,
it
you
against the
throw
wall.
it up to the wall and see what happens. But thank you so much for
Thank
and please
you.
come back anytime.
I'm happy that you are interested in me at
Oh
all.
my God, I love you. Well, the hour flies by, everyone. So thank you so much for joining us. And we will be back here next week, same time, same place. And like I said, we always like to surprise you to tell you who our guests are right before. But shout out to Dominic Friesen. JW, thank you so much.
Always a pleasure, sir.
And
Thank
everyone,
you.
be safe, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thanks for checking out One-on-One with Jasper Cole. Check out past episodes and get the latest as they're released. Subscribe today on iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube.